Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Comic Book Flashback. Today, we are looking at The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 42. This issue came out in November of 1966, and as we look on the cover today, we have Spider-Man fighting none other than J. Jonah Jameson's son, John Jameson. And it looks like he has superpowers in this comic. What's going on here? We're going to find all this out and today's issue as we're looking at the birth of a superhero today. That's today's title. And before we get started, we're going to give credit where credit is due. We have Stan Lee doing the writing on this issue, John Romita as the artist, and Sam Rosen doing the lettering page. And so we see on the cover page here today, we have Spider-Man, and it looks like he is robbing a bank. He has a sack of money in his hand. What is going on here? He's robbing a bank in broad daylight. What's going on here? So we're going to find all this out right now. Is Spider-Man going into crime? We see Mr. Dunlap here. He's in charge of the bank. He tells the police that Spider-Man has robbed this bank in broad daylight. The police can't believe it, but Mr. Dunlap shows the evidence here. As we see right here, only Spider-Man could have bent these steel bars to get it to the money. And so Mr. Dunlap here is saying pretty much that J. Jonah Jameson was right this entire time, that Jonah Jameson wrote in his articles all the time about how Spider-Man was a menace and people just didn't believe him. But now we have the evidence, and here we are. We have Spider-Man here climbing up this building on the Washington Bridge and throws the money down into the river. So that's something to think about, and we'll get to that later. But here we have Frederick Foswell. We're at the Daily Bugle now. Frederick Foswell comes and he's asking for J. Jonah Jameson, and he tells Betty Brant and Ned Leeds here that there's claims that Spider-Man has robbed a bank. And of course, we have Betty Brant here and Ned Leeds not really believing Frederick Foswell. They can't believe what they're hearing. And so, is this true? Is Spider-Man a menace? We'll get into that later. But the main characters we're going to be focusing on is John Jameson and J. Jonah Jameson. They're going to play a great deal into the story today. And remember from last issue how John Jameson had come back from a space mission and he had come in contact with space spores. And these space spores have caused John Jameson's body to react in unnatural ways. And we see right here that John Jameson cannot control his own body, and he's outgrowing his clothes. He's become super strong. And so now John Jameson pretty much can go through anything. He can go through brick walls, stone walls. He has super strength, and it's this uncanny strength may come into great deal here. And so what do? They drive John Jameson to the place where they need to give him this suit here that will allow him to be able to walk because of this super strength, he has the ability to, when he's walking, it's like he's on the moon. He can't control himself. But this suit will help him be able to walk normally, to function normally, but he still has his super strength. And so when they get back to the hotel, Jameson's like, oh man, has my son really become a superhero? After all this time I've been bashing superheroes in my newspaper, now my own son is a superhero. But Jonah Jameson gets the phone call from Frederick Foswell about Spider-Man breaking into a bank and stealing money. And so now J. Jonah Jameson is changing his tune here, and he's like, by golly, I've come to what we need to do to finally trap Spider-Man in his tracks. We finally have got the answer after all, and you're the answer, John. And he tells John basically that he needs to go track Spider-Man down and bring him to justice. He needs to stop Spider-Man in his tracks. And so Jonah Jameson convinces his own son, John Jameson, to go track down Spider-Man and defeat him. And so this is what we're going to see here as John Jameson, with this newfound strength, is going to go one-on-one with Spider-Man. Let's also pick up on, remember, the Rhino from last issue. He made his first appearance. And so the Rhino has been unconscious since their last battle with Spider-Man. And these doctors have been trying their best to figure out how they can take this costume off of the Rhino. They try to stick him with needles, but every needle keeps breaking. So they walk out of the room, but we see that the Rhino is conscious. He is back awake. So that is, dangerous right here. The Rhino is awake. We also see a guest appearance of Matthew Murdock's favorite person here, the guy he works with, and that is none other than Foggy Nelson. And if you know anything about Daredevil comics, Foggy Nelson is one of the key characters there, and he decides that he's going to be an attorney for the Rhino. But we see that the Rhino actually is going to break out of his prison here. He's going to attack the police. The police can't stop him, and now the Rhino is on the loose. But the doctors are able to get the Rhino, and with this tranquilizer gas here, because of the tranquilizer gas, it knocks the Rhino back out. But now the Rhino is a big threat. We're going to look more on the Rhino next issue, but let's get to our favorite character in this comic, and that is none other than Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man. And so Peter Parker is at ESU, and his favorite group of people are Gwen Stacy, Flash Thompson, and Harry Osborn, especially Gwen Stacy, as we've seen from the previous issues, that we have Peter Parker here having a crush on Gwen Stacy. And Gwen Stacy invites Peter Parker to go to this party on Sunday. And Peter Parker agrees at first, but then he's like, oh man, I agreed to Aunt May to go with her. I have to go meet with my, neighbor here, that's Anna Watson, and meet Mary Jane. Crap. So he has to backtrack and say, sorry, Gwen, I can't make it to the party because I have to do something. So now he's all feeling bad, and Gwen's like, oh, don't worry about it. I guess you just have better things to do. So again, a little rocky relationship with Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. Peter Parker's luck running thin here. So Peter Parker changes to Spider-Man after school, and this is where he's going to come into contact with John Jameson. And Spider-Man is just like, what in the world? How did you gain this super strength? I don't get it. I mean, John Jameson, he can rip through webbing. And again, some great action scenes drawn by John Romita here. Some awesome stuff here. And John Jameson, his one mission here is to defeat Spider-Man and bring him to justice, just like his dad told him to. So that's exactly what he did. He's claiming that Spider-Man is the one to rob this bank. Spider-Man's trying to reason with him. He's saying he didn't rob that bank, and we'll come to find out how, as we see right here, that Peter Parker was at a bank and he saw a money bag, and in that money bag he heard ticking, and it was really a bomb in that bag. And so what does Peter Parker do? He changes to Spider-Man, and he doesn't have enough time to explain to the cops. He webs up the cops, bends the steel bars where the money's at, grabs the money bag, and throws it into the river, and it goes kablooey. Now, J. Jonah Jameson and the rest of the people are not going to believe it, so what does Spider-Man do? He goes to the Daily Bugle, tells J. Jonah Jameson that he didn't rob that bank, and if he doesn't believe him, call the bank and see if any money's missing. So that's exactly what J. Jonah Jameson does. We come to find out that Spider-Man is innocent. But then we see an angry John Jameson storm into the room here, and now John Jameson wants revenge on Spider-Man. He's going to do whatever it takes. This is a different John Jameson. This is an angry John Jameson, and he's going to track down Spider-Man just to seek revenge on how Spider-Man defeated him in the last fight. So here we go. He takes off the clamps, and now he can pretty much leap in the air. Like he could just defy gravity here. But again, Spider-Man is going to go one-on-one with John Jameson, this time for the last time. And one last fight here. They crash into the inside of this building here. Spider-Man knocks him into this electrical tank here, and the electricity causes John Jameson's body to go back to normal. He loses his superpowers because of this. And so 10 minutes later, John Jameson is found on the ground, unconscious. They don't know how he got this way, but Jonah Jameson here, JJJ, decides that, you know what, this must have been Spider-Man. It must have been Spider-Man's doing. But he's also grateful that his own son is back to normal. Now, the next day, it's Sunday. Peter Parker has slept through pretty much the entire day. Aunt May comes to his room, and she's like, why are you not getting ready yet? We got to go to our neighbor's house. And then Peter Parker's like, crap. So Peter Parker gets up, gets ready, and he's just taking his time. He's like, man, do I really have to meet Mary Jane? I bet she's just nothing. I mean, she's probably ugly. You have no idea. So he goes to his neighbor's house. He's greeted by Anna Watson, who is Aunt May's best friend. He's thinking about Gwen Stacy. They hear the doorbell ring, and here we go, folks. The very first time we see Mary Jane Watson, full appearance here. And by golly, was Peter Parker wrong? I mean, look at that beauty. Wow. So there we go, folks. Mary Jane Watson. Peter Parker meets her for the very first time at the very end of this issue. And what a surprise, as she says, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. And so how's this all going to play into detail next issue as Peter Parker gets to know Mary Jane? And also, how does the Rhino come into play here as well when the Rhino comes back to town? So get ready for that, folks, as we look at issue number 43. And I hope to see you next time. Go ahead and give this video a like and comment down below. And click that bell so that you'll be notified when the next video appears. Until next time, God bless.